I'ma keep it a bean. Stick to the script, every scene. This from last year, but they clean. Say to say, I'ma take something else, but it's a winning team. Charlie Sheen, fam gang, the regime. I'm from Piney Green.
What's good, Shellitronnn here, the most woke, no joke, and I'm back at it again with a brand new video. And today we're going to be getting into episode 4 of the Amazon series, All or Nothing, going over the Panthers season. And this is a really good episode because right off the bat, we see it's week 6 and the guy himself, the man himself, TD58, has finally returned off of his 4-game suspension. It was 4 games. We had a week 4 bye, so he had to sit week 5, and that's why week 6 was the first week he could come back. And I've talked about this a couple times in my older videos, talking about, you know, all the issues with the PEDs and whatnot. And I think I've covered it enough. If you want to know my thoughts on all that, you can go watch those other videos. But this is a really good episode. You see that Greg Olsen also returns after 5 weeks. He hurt himself, re-injured that foot in the very first week. And not only are those two back, the whole gang's back together because we see Josh Norman, or we don't really see him, but there's a FaceTime call and it's a pretty long segment where Cam and Luke are just cooking this man up. Cam said if he sees number 24 on the field, he is not juking. No matter what the down and distance is, no matter what the situation is in the game, he is not going juke. And they're just going back and forth. It was really funny to see all that. Josh Norman asked if Greg Olsen was playing that week, and just out of nowhere, Luke's just like, just snap a finger. Nope. Straight face, like, hey, it's like, hold up, can we keep this secret a secret just a little bit? And Greg actually did end up playing, so it wasn't like he gave up the keys to the kingdom, but still, it's like a snap of a finger. I was like, hold up, did Greg actually miss that Redskins game? He sounded like so honest. I was like, wait a second. Was Greg out that game? Was just back for practice? And that's where all the jokes and the smiles end, because when that Redskins game started, it wasn't a good one. It really wasn't a good one. We saw DJ Moore fumble a punt return. It was not good. It ended up being a 1-play touchdown once the Redskins got the ball back. And then Josh Norman also had a forced fumble. Again, he punched the ball out of DJ Moore's hand, and he got a pick on Cam. It was kind of a floater. It was kind of a duck. I don't think Cam got hit on the play. He was just throwing off his back foot, kind of just throwing it up. It wasn't like it was one of those skill interceptions. And honestly, Josh Norman jumped in front of one of his own players to get that pick himself, which, look, I ain't gonna lie to you, it's a pop-up. I'm doing the same thing. I'm getting my stats up, and it's just a better story if J-No gets the pick than just some other random Redskins player. So I understand that. Not a real big deal, but he did end up getting the pick. And it just was not all that great. But even with the 2 fumbles and that pick, we were still in the game late. And I think everyone remembers that last drive, that last sequence where we have about just over a minute left. And there was 2 passes that were just way overthrown, like just over the receiver's head. And I think there was all four of those plays were kind of confusing plays. I didn't like going deep on the first 3 plays, and then you had to go deep on the 4th. I think we should have just cut down some of that distance, maybe gone for like a 5-yard or 6-yard kind of pass, maybe even a dump off. And the biggest thing about that, I know people were really getting on Cam's head about throwing it over the receiver's head, but if you watch those plays, those receivers were covered. There was no one open. No one got separation. I mean, Cam did what he had to do. Those passes were not getting completed if they were on the numbers or if they were over the dude's head. They were all equally just way. There was no one getting open. You really couldn't do anything in that situation. It was just a bad situation all around. But I just didn't like the play calling at all. This whole season, I've been a really huge Norv fan. His play calling's always been really good. Just that last sequence in the Redskins game was not good. We ended up losing that game, but we're still straight. We're still looking good in the record and all that kind of stuff. The next week was Philly, and Philly was going to be a really hard game because they were looking good early on in the season. Like that first game was bad. That first game of the season was bad for the Eagles. I don't know if y'all remember that. It was the opening game. I think it was Philly and the Falcons. Both teams looked like they were playing Pop Warner. No one wanted to win that game. It was bad. But when it got to our team, when it got to, week 7, it was going to be a real test for us. And during the week of practice, we saw Smitty show up, and Steve's talking to Cam, say, hey, I got this DJ Moore guy on my bench. Do I start him? Because, I mean, I got John Brown as well, but, I mean, should I get DJ Moore? And DJ's right there beside him, and he asks, he's like, hey, DJ, hey, do I start you, or do I keep you on my bench? DJ's looking at him like, yeah, you should start me. Yeah, please. And then Smitty's like, look, you get 2 catches, I'm going to smack you. He said, look, I'm 5'3.5", but I'm going to get in your, I'll get on your backside real quick. Look, Smitty's a small guy, but there's not a lot of football players I'm going to actually bet on against Smitty in a fight. Hey, he'll hang with the best of them, with the biggest of them. He really didn't have DJ Moore shook. He had that boy real shook. But we get into the Eagles game, and we all know what happened. 3 quarters of just horrible horrible, terrible play. No other way of putting it. We looked bad for 3 full quarters. Get into the fourth quarter, we're down 0-17. And then the impossible happens. And then we figure out, wait, we're football players, we're professional athletes, we're allowed to score the points and get into that what's that called again? It's the end zone. Yeah, the end zone, right? We figure out that we're allowed to go to the end zone to see some really clutch passes from Cam. We see Christian McCaffrey do some really, really big things, and we come back out of nowhere. And we had some really good defensive stops too. The biggest thing I noticed was early on in the year, honestly for most of the year, our defense was not playing all that great. Against the run, it was really bad. But we showed up really, really strong. Both the offense and the defense in that fourth quarter really showed some heart, really showed some resiliency, really showed an ability to bounce back from adversity. And then we saw Greg Olsen, who was kind of quiet in that game. Not even kind of quiet. He was very, very quiet. Very, very clutch touchdown to basically seal the deal. We looked good. Beat the reigning Super Bowl champions, and that was a statement game. Honestly, when we won that game, I think I got on and made my video. I was up there. I was hyped, bro. I was gassing it. I thought we were about to, have a strong little, maybe 13-3 season, maybe a 12-4 kind of season. I was really up there. We know what happens after this, but this was a really, really great game that showed a little bit of the heart, a little bit of the ability of the Panthers to really stick it out there and never give up. And it starts with number 1. It starts with number 88, 59, all those guys, number 22, everyone on the field, the coaches. I really do respect North Turner, Coach Rivera, all of them. They all came together and ended up having a really, really, really great end of the game there. That's a perfect way to end the episode there with us winning that game against the Eagles. And it's a good stopping point to lead us up to the Ravens game in episode 5, where we start to see that maybe Cam's shoulder isn't really all that 100%. And keep in mind, this is before the Steelers game. This right here is before the Steelers game. We were already having concerns about Cam's shoulder. So when we get to that episode in my next video, we'll talk more about that. But episode 4, TD comes back, Greg Olsen comes back. We lose to the Redskins, and we have a crazy, legendary comeback against the Eagles. Really good episode for us. But what are your thoughts? What's your favorite part? What's your least favorite part? Any thoughts at all on this, man? Are you liking these videos? The first video did really well, but I think the last couple videos aren't doing as well. Do y'all like watching these videos? Let me know all that in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell icon. Let me know how you feel, man. And as always, you already know what to do with that like button.
Cheers to you, appreciate the chance. Been told y'all I been the man. Been told y'all I had the gift. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Real ones gonna recommend. Count this as another win.